Welcome back to Notes from the Sanctuary. I'm Véronique.
And I'm Paola.
And we're learning to live a better, gentler life, and we want you to come along for the ride.
Yes. So today we're continuing with our February theme or chapter. And today we're doing nervous system care with something that I think a lot of us need some work on, which is nervous system softening. So it's the tiny movements, the rhythms, the physical cues that help our body settle down when life feels a little bit too sharp or too intense.
Yes, and before we dive in, how is your nervous system feeling today?
Honestly, I'm feeling a little bit slow, but also grounded just because I had a super busy day today. So it was kind of intense. And I'm grounded because I did my grounding, I did my work, I was outside, I feel good, but I'm also feeling slow because it's a lot.
Slow is kind of good on your nervous system, isn't it? It helps it. So you're kind of naturally.
I don't feel activated.
Yeah, you're naturally soothing.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I feel soft a little bit, which is nice. So I know. Yeah, I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight, like a total.
I've personally been a little bit activated today.
Okay.
Been a few days now that I feel a bit activated, but, from all of this work we've been doing, it's not overwhelming anymore.
Good.
It just it's like I can kind of pinpoint and notice the patterns. Yeah. And be like, oh, my nervous system's activated right now. Okay. And that self-compassion and all that understanding, it makes such a difference. Yeah. It's I'm feeling a little tense, I'm feeling a little braced, but then it's just every now and then I just, okay, let it go, release it. Because I notice it, because I know it's there. So.
Have you noticed it just automatically, or did you have to ground yourself? Did you do a body scan?
No, I'm noticing it automatically, but it's also a lot on my mind because I'm working on all of this stuff. Right. So it reminds me. But I think it's kind of cool because, it's going to become a habit.
Yes, which it's an awesome habit, right?
Yes.
So
there's some habits we want to build.
Exactly, and this is definitely one of them. So I think the way our bodies and nervous system work together, they can kind of tell the truth long before we know it, in my mind. Yes. So the more you practice it, then it's more you get used to it, and it's softer. It's not, you're not fixing something, you're listening to what your body's telling you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually we'll transition this into the resource, which is my favorite one so far. So it's a flight into regulation. And so I started this because I wanted to do a chapter on regulation for the podcast. That's the only reason.
A single chapter, guys.
Yeah, that's the only reason. But as I started, I recognized so much of my patterns.
Yeah.
So much of these things, my overthinking that I've always looked at as such a fault or whatever. And, turns out that's my nervous system. The fact that sometimes I'm in the middle of a sentence and I forget what I'm saying. And that's because I'm nervous or whatever. And that's my nervous system, kind of freezing.
Yeah.
And so much that shoulder bracing that I get. The reason I used to love drinking wine so much is that it released. I could feel it in my shoulders. I would feel it in my shoulders. And so actually a lot of the breath work we do gives me that same feeling, a little bit less intense.
Okay.
But it gives me that wine feeling of the tension giving release. So I guess I'm carrying the tension most of the time.
Yeah, and maybe with practice, then you may actually get that similar feeling you were used to.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And I recognize so much about it. So about myself and about a lot of people I know. I kind of want to just ship this book to so many people.
Here, you need this. Take this. Do it.
I've kind of started. I've given it to a friend. I've shipped it to another.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I love that this is not about fixing. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not like, oh, read this and it's gonna fix you. It's about understanding and softening.
Yeah.
It's like having that compassion that comes with understanding why you're reacting certain ways. And I don't know, like I'm just love this resource.
And I will say what I like about it is she said it was like a textbook, and while it's thick, she took. There is like information. So for example, there's information on this side here.
Yes.
And then you have the reflection.
Yes, because I want everything that's coming out of
Yeah.
Picture of Wings is workbooks, journals.
Reflect, inner.
It's all stuff that is hands-on. I'm not going to be sitting there and preaching to anyone because I'm learning with them.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
learning
the
with
goal.
you guys. So I'm definitely not going to sit around and preach. And so in the books, I don't do that either. I research, I find all the information, I write it down, but then I make activities for you to kind of
Reflect on the knowledge
and figure out how it fits into your own life, into your own body.
Yeah. So I do actually appreciate this, because sometimes nervous system. What is the nervous system? I'm like, oh, it's just science.
Yeah.
But is it though?
Yeah. No, there's and the vagal nerve.
Yes.
So we kept on hearing
Yes.
that. We kept on hearing that terms when my daughter was going through chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Was very often very dizzy, and they kept on saying that, like, there's
Your vagus nerve.
Yeah. And it didn't really, like,
You're like, what is this?
yeah, it
What
didn't
does
really
this have to
sink in,
do?
like, yeah, and then it's like, but then you read about it, and it's so much about, like, about everything of how you feel, because it's going all through.
It's your whole body.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's just like it controls, like, like stomach pains from nervousness or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, it's all coming from your nervous system. It's
Yeah.
it's fascinating, and it's amazing that just recognizing it can make such a big difference in how you deal with it and manage
Yeah.
it.
Well, I think it's the mind-body connection, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we're here to chat about it. So I will say I like these kinds of workbooks, and I was reading through some of the chapters, and I'm like, oh, I want to read this one. Oh, I want to read this. So again, like,
Yeah.
you don't
When
you
I
don't
was
have
putting
to.
it together, I was like, I can't wait to receive it because I'm gonna start
doing some
it.
learning.
But then I'm
some
waiting
work.
again because, again, I got so, like, everyone needs it. I gave my copy away, so now I'm waiting. Friday I get another
Friday we'll
one.
get another.
Yeah, and then I'll be filling it out myself.
Yeah, and all the links are on the website too if you guys are interested. So, okay, so now let's move on to the conversation part. So, as usual, we use a small list of questions, not scripts, and we just use those to guide the flow.
Yeah, so we try to weave in topics like our different stages of life, somatic cues, personal practice, and the workbook, if it fits in.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it doesn't fit in, then out the window.
See ya. Okay.
We're easygoing over here.
Exactly. Okay, so number one. When you think about softening your nervous system, what does that mean to you?
Okay, so if you had asked me that before, I'd be like, I don't know.
Say what?
Say what? Softening? I don't know, my massage?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like
I need to
physical.
knead some bread.
Yeah.
Like,
But, so yeah, no, it's something that I'm definitely still learning. But now I understand that mostly it is being gentle with yourself. It is being compassionate. It is noticing your reactions. And I don't know if you can hear the cat. He has things to say about it too. Oh, because it's his feeding time. So it's about recognizing the reactions and just kind of softening them, because it's like once you know they're there, you're like, okay, my shoulders are braced. I'm tense. Okay.
relax. Take a
let it
breath.
go.
Yeah.
Like, be easy on yourself. Like, this is just, your nervous system reacting. It could be due to trauma. It could be due to anything. Trauma, I learned, that you hear that word and you think somebody's gone through, like, major things.
Yeah, like they were abused, which,
I mean,
yes.
which is definitely massive trauma. But I've also learned that sometimes it's something that as a child you misunderstood.
Yeah, because baby brain,
Yeah.
she didn't understand, right?
Yeah.
So I think
So-
trauma can look very different.
I think
Yeah.
most people will have some form of trauma and not realize it because, you know, some obviously some people realize it, but
Yeah.
some people have what felt like a very normal childhood.
Yeah.
And it's just like once you realize the reactions that you have, you realize that there's something to heal. And, you know, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not qualified to help you heal that. So instead with the book, what I've done is more like help you reflect on it, help you be gentle with yourself. And if you need to go that further step, then you go to a professional.
Of course.
Yeah.
And step one is just maybe knowing about it, understanding, and
Yes.
doing the little activities. It could be helpful.
Yes. So yeah, softening.
Yeah, I like that. I think I'm definitely still learning about these keywords like vagus nerve, nervous system, and I'm sure there's more science words that are used in this whole thing, but I think what it would feel like is I think about softness, and sometimes when I'm stressed or like when I have a intense feeling, I feel it not just in my brain and my heart, but I feel it in my body.
Yeah.
So if it's softening, I would imagine that it's the opposite. Maybe I don't feel, or maybe it's just lighter, right? Like sometimes different feelings, I feel it in my legs or like in my hands, or right? So maybe just feeling them less or not as sharp.
Yes, I guess, yeah. Short versus soft.
Yeah. I think that would be how I would see it. And I think the degree to it would also depend, because the more I practice or the more I reflect or ground or do my body scans,
Yes.
it would change too.
Yeah, because like the grounding and the body scans are good ways of dealing with your nervous system, of kind of loosening things up, you know?
Exactly.
It all
Yeah.
connects.
Yeah. It all comes together. Okay, question number 2. What kinds of movements have you found help your nervous system settle?
Okay, so for me, stillness usually works more than movement, but there are some movements.
Okay.
So lack of movement, I guess, would be the number one.
Okay, yes.
But other than that, stretching, right?
Yes.
That stretching, like, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Like, and I think I do a little bit of rocking. I noticed that while we were talking, as you're asking me a question, I was kind of going like,
Interesting.
and I was like, oh, look at that, I have another answer that I didn't realize.
You're like figuring things out
Yeah.
about yourself.
Yeah.
Very cool. I think for me, it's definitely the shoulders, because I feel like I carry a lot of stress, or it starts at my shoulders.
Yes.
So I tend to do a lot of like shoulder rolls, or sometimes too, like if I'm super focused, I'll hunch. I'll be like hunched,
yeah.
right? Or like on my phone, computer, screens, all this. So resetting myself, like I'm good, I'm
Oh,
here.
it feels so good, right? When you like suddenly like
Yeah.
just put like that number area.
Yes.
in your,
Yes. And sometimes too, like I'll just have I'll be here. And I'm like, no, this is not where my shoulders exist. I need to bring them down, right? So it's just resetting my body where it should be. Like, I guess it's not necessarily movement per se, but it's like placement a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Question 3. How do you know when your nervous system is asking for softness?
Okay, so I'm gonna actually kind of go into a little bit of like
Detour.
stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Because we always hear about fight or flight.
Yes.
Like the full one is fight, flight, freeze, or fawn.
Okay.
So fight and flight is obvious. I think freeze, everyone knows, it's just.
Yeah.
And-
You're like a deer.
And fawn is kind of like when you're like people pleasing, or you're like you're fawning over, like to try to like as a defense mechanism,
Yeah.
right? So there's a lot of patterns within that is actually your nervous system speaking to you. Like it is definitely like you notice yourself bracing, shutting down, people pleasing, staying small. So I get that a lot. I always don't want to take too much space in the world. You know, like I want to hyper independence. Definitely me. Like avoidance, over functioning. Like these are all parts of the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Like they're all reactions for that. And so to me, like I've started noticing these specific patterns. Before that, I think it would have been more like, oh, I notice I'm tense, so I need to like kind of, relax.
Yeah.
But there was not a specific recognizing a pattern or a specific how do I relax.
You couldn't name them before. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So for you, when you know that your nervous system is asking for softness, it's because of the way that you're feeling in those instances?
Yeah, the patterns that I see myself. It's also like how I'm performing.
Okay.
Like the patterns I'm performing. So yeah.
Right. Because not everyone would be the flight.
Oh no,
right?
no, and most people just keep on going between them.
Right.
Depending.
Oh,
it all depends on
interesting.
your like the trigger and like what it brought out of you, and so.
Okay,
like,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I was thumbs up. I feel like as you were explaining that, I was like, okay, could I see myself fluidly throughout all of those 4 stages? And I think the answer is yes, and it also depends on the context. Obviously, I think the most important thing is balance is key. So you may be fluidly throughout, and maybe that's what you want, because if you rely on one too many, like you're always flying, right? Or you're always people pleasing, right? Well, but people pleasing is nice too, like being kind.
Yes. The issue is not like being kind to people, is when you make yourself little for someone else. So that's why these patterns are like not necessarily. I will not say the patterns are bad, because they're not bad. They're your nervous system doing what it needs to do to protect you.
Interesting.
But the patterns are things that we can soften.
Yeah.
And as we soften them, it makes like our life easier.
Yes. Interesting. And I'm trying to think, there are times when I feel like, I think this happened last weekend, and I was cleaning up like my living room, my dining room. I don't know what I was doing. And I felt this overwhelming sense of something. And I felt it, like it was almost like a sensation started in my head. I think maybe I was overthinking about something, can't remember what now. But I just remember feeling it, and I was like, whoa, hold on, what the heck? Why are these?
Really screaming
it was like,
at you.
like, hello, pay attention to me. And I think I was doing a full house clean, so I wasn't focusing on my body. And so I literally just stopped everything that I was doing. I did a full body scan, did some breathing, reset my body to like its good spot, and I just stood there. Like the anti movement really helped.
So you recognized the pattern.
Yeah.
You recognized it, and then you softened
I listened to my body, right?
You softened. You took that breath, and you.
Yeah. Yeah, because
like
maybe
instinctively
I knew what to do, because maybe someone else may feel it and you're like, oh my God, I'm dying. Like, oh, I'm having a panic attack, or like.
Or some people think it's a heart attack when they have
also,
a panic attack.
right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know. So, and I don't know if it was a panic attack, but I can't say it was an extreme feeling. Did they bite you?
No, he's trying to get up. I don't know.
Okay, we have a fellow.
Yeah,
Hi.
we have a guest here. He's upset that we're filming on his supper time.
Sorry. Yeah, so I guess that's how I know, but that's a cue, right?
Yes.
It's not always that the cues are always the same. They really differ from time to time.
And there's many like things, like I researched so much because I got really curious.
Yeah. Me too.
He was curious too. Like what like causes us to react differently like, why sometimes I freeze and sometimes,
Yeah.
and it doesn't seem simple.
No.
No, I think
There's no,
like,
yeah, this is why.
Yeah.
Here's your
there's,
medicine.
like, it could be like, like, and it's in here where there's stuff I did find where like certain types of trauma that you might have had could cause this specific reaction. But it's all, it's not a, this is why, it's just a, something like that would do this. So maybe that's what it is. But it's, what caused your nervous system to create that reaction is kind of tied in with that pattern, right? So yeah, it's
science.
It's super fascinating.
It really is.
It makes me want to study this stuff more. Like just everything we talk about, I'm like, I gotta find a course.
Yeah, this is so interesting. So actually, the next question is kind of related. So what helps you soften without shutting down? Because those are, again, if you're having in that sensation, I could have completely shut down.
Yes, and it's also like recognizing how to soften, like softening versus numbing.
Yeah.
Right, because numbing is, and sometimes you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
If the trigger is too hard or whatever, you might have to numb. But if you can soften, is basically being, recognizing, being like, okay, this is my nervous system protecting me.
Yeah.
It thinks that there's something wrong, but I know better. I know what happened. Like, I know.
You're safe, it's fine.
It's safe, it's fine. And the more like compassion you have with yourself, the more you're easy on yourself, then the easiest it is to just soften into it instead of just freezing or shutting down or shutting out the emotion. But again, some people have enough damage that it's not really a choice.
Yeah.
Unless they get like that professional help.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say, everyone can just soften it, but it's just having compassion enough with yourself that if you can, you will soften it. And if you can't, then, I hope that you find something that does work for you, because that's really hard to
always
live
be
with.
activated,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You need to be able to soften, and
Yeah.
that's our body telling us something is off.
And we hold on to so much. Like, we have our memories, but we also, like, our nervous system has its own set of memories.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. And I'm trying to think about it, like, what helps you soften? I think another thing that worked for me is, because I think that feeling came from thoughts. Like, I think I was just like completely overwhelmed with what I had to do. I was creating a list of like, I need to do this, 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 this. So I was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So the way that worked also, like what I did to help soften was change my thoughts too. So I just cleared them. I think I focused on sound.
Yes.
Like, I focused on the sound of my
It's a
fridge.
great skill to learn.
Yeah.
Starting to learn it, it's very hard when you're trying to fall asleep.
It's very hard.
That's like the time when, like, I'm still not successful. Like, I'll successfully for like seconds, and it just comes right back.
Because your brain
in,
can
like,
just,
it's like, I'm back.
Literally. It's so hard to clear your brain. And then sometimes you think about not thinking, or think about clearing your brain, and then you're thinking about that, which is not clearing your brain.
No. Yeah, but yeah, the more you practice it, and the more you realize that clearing your brain is not literally emptying it.
No, it's just don't stress, like,
It's
breathe
clearing from
like,
the complicated thoughts, from the, like, try to focus on simple things, on the now.
Exactly. Okay, question 5. How does your life stage shape the way you soften your nervous system?
So normally I always say, I don't think my life stage makes much difference. In this case, I think it's made a huge difference.
Okay.
I think when I entered so they always say when you hit your 40, you stop giving an F.
Okay. Noted.
And I feel like I definitely, like, maybe not full on embrace that, but like I definitely softened a lot on like how much I cared about what other people have to say, and how much So I became gentler on myself.
Yeah.
And I already softened even before I started doing all of this work. Like I was already softening naturally because of not being so activated by other people. I
You
guess.
learned
Yes.
that that's what you needed.
And started recognizing patterns in myself, not the same way as after I did the book stuff, but I still did recognize my overthinking. I still recognize some of my patterns. And, you know, so I think as I proceeded, like, you know, through my life stages, I do feel that I really did get to a point where, you know, I was starting to self-regulate on my own.
Okay.
And I mean, that's my journey. I feel though that I hear a lot of 40-year-old women saying, you know, like at this age, you just
no fucks given.
Yes, exactly.
I will say, I think you're right. Like, I think this topic really does, it's impacted by your life stage. And I think about, like, for example, right now I'm trying to grow, I'm trying to learn. There's a lot of, like, I'm super busy. So I think my nervous system is just sometimes more activated because I have a lot of things I have to do, right, on the daily. Like, I'm always busy. There's always something on my calendar, right? And if I'm not, okay, I can relax and I spend time with my dog and I'm good. But generally, it's pretty busy. So I need to listen to my body because my nervous system can be activated and I need to know how to soften it, right?
Yes.
So maybe the benefit to that is that I'm learning the skill now so that by the time, you know, I reach my next decades, like all the decades, I know how.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And like the type of thing that like the earlier you're aware, like so much, it's going to be so much easier. Like it's some stuff that I've told my kids so often, like I'm learning this at the same time as you. Like imagine how ahead of the game you're going to be. Like,
yes. Because that's like you don't learn this in school, right?
No.
They just, oh, you're fine, suck it up, like, you know.
No,
or
there's a little bit of like they're trying to add some of that type of stuff to the curriculum, but it's really light. Like it's not
really there. Yeah, so I mean we'll see, but I think it's also practice does come perfect, and no matter when you start, just start, right? Because a little soft, however works for you. Like there is no, yes, you need to do this, and then this is step 2, and this is step 3, because everyone is so different, right? We all react differently, and we have our own triggers and our own traumas.
And that's why, like with the, you know, having so many reflections in their workbook, because it's like,
helpful.
How is that going to work for me in my life?
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little grounding practice. So it comes from the little workbook from, I think I think it was last week. Was it last week? Yeah. Okay. It was on breathwork, so the mini guide. So if you go in at the center of the booklet, but I guess it's page, I don't even know what.
I don't think I numbered the pages.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, page 8. Under practices for grounding and regulation, there's practice 2, which is centering your breath. Okay, so I'm going to read it out. Okay, and then that way we know what we're doing. But the purpose is to bring clarity, presence, and do a gentle focus. So this is actually really helpful for the nervous system because sometimes you just need to focus back, right? Like do a little centering because there could be so much around, or, you know, you're feeling activated, you're feeling sharp, you just have to pivot a little bit. So how we're going to do it, or how to practice, you're going to inhale through your nose for a slow count of 4, or as slow as you can go. If you can only do 2, that's fine too. Then you're going to exhale through your nose for another 4. So just match it, whatever you're able to do. And then after that, you keep an even and steady breath with the same count. So, I mean, you can repeat it for several cycles, and you can let your mind and your body just kind of wander, meet in the middle, center on your breath, focus on that. I know for you it works to also focus on noise, so if it works for you as well.
I don't know why the birds stopped. Oh,
They're
thank you.
there they are, so you
Thank
can
you.
focus on them. So specifically, it says here, you can use this when you're feeling scattered, foggy, indecisive, or emotionally unanchored. So this little practice will actually really help for those who are like, what does it mean to be soft? How can I soften? This is an example. This is an example here.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm also a little congested, as you can hear, but it's fine. We can still do this. I may just breathe through my mouth instead because I can't. But okay, so feel comfortable. Ground yourself. Put your feet on the ground if that's what feels good. And we'll just start. Couple more. How did that feel?
It felt good. Eli messed with my vibe a little bit. Like he kind of like broke my concentration. But other than that, like
It was
I
good.
was able to get back into it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Do better.
the way he's looking.
Yeah. So I encourage you guys to try this little
Yes, because
breathwork mini guide. It's a free resource, and I find it really useful because it's writes down, gives you an idea of how to use it. You don't need to follow it all the time. Again, I tweaked it because my nose is congested, but yeah, let this be the anchor for the week that you need and to help you in your practice to learn how to help your nervous system.
Yes.
Yeah. So next week, super exciting, we're opening a brand new month. So we're starting March and also a new chapter. So it's going to be on spirituality and your inner knowing, which is actually super interesting.
Yes, so we're exploring intuition, inner wisdom, and the quiet ways your spirits speak.
Yeah. So join us next Thursday for knowledge versus intuition.
And until then, I hope your body softens and that you meet yourself with tenderness. Bye.
Bye.